JBN, we keep you informed. Two, including a female charged with gun crimes. Two people are to face the court to answer to charges stemming from the shooting injury of three people in two separate incidents in the St. Andrew North and the St. Andrew South divisions. The first incident occurred in the St. Andrew North division on Monday, February 11 this year. Police reports are that about 8:30 p.m., the complainants were approached by two men who opened gunfire, hitting them before escaping in a motor car. They were taken to the hospital where they were treated and released. 28-year-old Jaron Campbell, otherwise called Fata, of Iron River District in Golden Springs, St. Andrew, was subsequently arrested and positively identified during an identification parade. He was later charged with wounding with intent with the use of a gun and 2 counts of illegal possession of a gun and ammunition. In the St. Andrew South Division, the police said 18-year-old Tamisha Lamont, otherwise called Survivor, of Majestic Gardens, Kingston 11, was charged with wounding with intent and illegal possession of a gun and ammunition. Allegations are that on Tuesday, December 10, Lamont shot and injured the complainant in Majestic Gardens in the parish. The police said she was later arrested and charged following a question and answer session. Their court dates are being finalized, the police said. "Me tired for live." Cabby drives to Kingston Harbour, jumps to his death. Lloyd Smith's last word to his neighbor on Sunday night were chilling. "Me just want to kill myself. Me tired for live," the neighbor, who gave her name only as Wendy, said on Monday. According to Wendy, she tried to dissuade the 62-year-old taxi driver who operated on the Walton Park Road to downtown Kingston route from killing himself. She even pleaded with him to talk to the police. "Now wait till you're dead, you make people wonder," she recalled telling him. Her words, though, had no effect on Smith, as Monday drove the taxi to the end of Anova Street at the Kingston waterfront and jumped into the choppy Caribbean Sea as heavy showers and strong winds swept through that section of the capital city. When the location was visited, investigators from the Central Investigation Bureau of the Jamaica Constabulary Force JCF reported that the police received a 119 call, and minutes later, about 7 a.m., Smith's car was found with a suitcase of clothes on the back seat. His body was found floating in the water. A source who identified herself as Smith's close friend said that he was having domestic problems with his common-law wife, with whom he lived on Grassquit Glade off Woodpecker Avenue in St. Andrew. Last week Friday, him called me and say him I go kill himself because him not have nowhere to go. From that, every time I talk to him, he say him I go kill himself, said the close friend who wished not to be named. He tell me say him now go have no Christmas, and me tell him so Christmas day him can't come for dinner, the neighbor added. The friend said that Smith, or Tallman as he was known in his community, was also having financial problems and was worried that his motor vehicle would be repossessed because he could no longer afford the weekly payments on his car loan. Him tell me said the car now work and they had a garage, and him a worry said him a go take with the car. Him couldn't work to pay back the loan. Me tell him say to pray about it, but all him a said to me is that him a go kill himself, the woman said. His friend also indicated that most of Smith's relatives and the children live abroad and that he had recently visited his son in the United States. Him having family are foreign but afraid to ask them for help. I just 1 month ago him go look for him son and him mother out here for the holiday. When me ask him where him no go look for her, him say him no want him mother to steam like that, she said. When Smith's home was visited, a woman who identified herself as his sister-in-law said that his wife was still in shock and would not be given any comments on her husband's suspected suicide. "I am beside myself and his wife is broken," said the woman. "We are not in the frame of mind to talk right now. The police are doing their investigations, so we won't say anything more," she added. Neighbors, however, said that on Sunday night, Smith had swallowed a bottle of unidentified pills and was seen with a rope before people intervened. Him did have a rope last night, and one of him relative come out here and asked for a phone call. Them tell him say him did at the police station last night, said one resident, who gave her name as Dominique. Him tell people say him will kill himself. Last night them see him with a buckle of pill, and when that never worked, him take up the cutlass and put it in him throat, say him will kill himself, she continued. Kumar Roden, who described Smith as his brethren, said that when he last spoke with Smith last week Thursday, he saw no signs that something was wrong with his friend. "Me and Tallman reason up to Thursday night, and him never show me what go on. He never tell me say him have them thoughts there," said Roden. "Me couldn't believe it when me hear this man said the man go kill himself." According to Wendy Smith, who was a diabetic and recently had one of his toes amputated, had made a previous attempt to end his life last Friday night. No foul play in Point Hill Council's death, says police. While an autopsy is yet to be performed, the St. Catherine North Police have determined that foul play was not suspected in the death of Wesley Soko, Jamaica Labour Party councillor for the Point Hill division of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation. Soko's body was discovered at his home in Green Acres, Spanish Town on Monday morning by the police and members of the St. Catherine Fire Brigade rescue team, who forced their way into the house after neighbors reported having not seen for 3 days. A foul odor had also triggered the alarm. The body of the 62-year-old councillor was discovered slumped in his living room couch with his licensed firearm on a table nearby. The police said there were no signs of forced entry and the body was in the early stages of decomposition. Member of Parliament for West Central St. Catherine Christopher Tufton was early on the scene and expressed deep sadness at the councillor's passing. This is another sad moment for West Central, following on the heels of the Dover tragedy, said Tufton, referencing a quadruple murder in the nearby rural village on December 10. The MP revealed that the late councillor had been battling a heart condition for which he had a major surgery done earlier this year. Also reacting to the councillor's death was the chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, Norman Scott, who described Soko as a quiet man who will be missed. Words cannot express the feeling of sadness and grief we are now experiencing, especially at a time when we should be celebrating, stated Scott, who is also mayor of Spanish Town. Minority Leader Lloyd Grant said he was shocked at Soko's death, describing the late councillor as a man who was dedicated to public service. We have lost a worker, good friend and family man, Grant said. No proof FID arrested, charged Reed and Pinnock, Chief Justice rules. There is no evidence that the Financial Investigations Division, FID, either arrested or prosecuted anyone in the fraud case involving discarded Education Minister Will Reed and President of the Caribbean Maritime University, CMU, Professor Fritz Pinnock. Chief Justice Brian Sykes reportedly ruled. According to sources, Sykes found that no exceptional circumstances were raised by attorneys for Reed and Pinnock that would cause the court to question the decision of the Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, to grant the FID a fiat to prosecute their clients. Sykes was giving reasons for his Christmas Eve decision to refuse an application by attorneys for Reed and Pinnock to leave to seek judicial review of the decision to arrest them on a slew of fraud-related charges. The hearing was held in chambers. He reportedly acknowledged that the grant of a fiat by the DPP is a power given to her by the Constitution. Reed, his wife Sharon, and their daughter Sherelle were arrested, along with Pinnock and councillor for the Brownstown Division, Kim Brown Lawrence, during a series of coordinated raids in St. Andrew, St. Catherine, and St. Anne in October. It came after a year-long probe led by the FID into allegations of corruption at the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information and the several agencies that fall under its remit, including CMU. However, Reed and Pinnock, through their legal challenge, were seeking to have the charges quashed. They argued, among other things, that the FID was not empowered by law to bring the charges against them and therefore acted illegally. They further contend that the FID is purely an investigative body and does not have the legal authority to bring criminal charges or obtain a fiat from the DPP to prosecute them. The five, who were granted bail in October, are scheduled to return to court on January 23, 2020. Wholeness donates $1 million to Bustamante Hospital for Children. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made a donation of $1 million to the Bustamante Hospital for Children during a tour and a toy distribution visit to the facility on Monday. Holness, in a press release, said the donation, which was made through his Positive Jamaica Foundation, is to assist with the purchase of much-needed monitors for the hospital. The Prime Minister also used the opportunity to get a first-hand view of the challenges and the needs of the hospital. It is always difficult when anyone has to be admitted to the hospital, but it is especially heartbreaking during the Christmas season, which is the time for families to get together. For this reason, I make it a custom to visit those who are sick and vulnerable to bring cheer during the Yuletide season, Holness said in the release. Last Christmas season, Holness visited the Mustard Seed communities, where we made a donation of $1.5 million towards the operation of the facility and the education of a child with special needs. I am encouraging everyone this season to open up your hearts and spread kindness to those who are in need of love and care during this season. Let us remember our neighbors, the elderly, the sick, and infirm. Let us reach out to them, especially at this time of the year, Holness said. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.